Okay, I've got bread, eggs. Ouch, eggs. Crackers. What am I missing? Oh yeah, Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions ceramic spray coating. Thank you. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing rank review for Turtle Wax's Hybrid Solutions ceramic spray coating, which is an absolute mouthful. This is my new one in case I had a video you've seen in the past potentially, where I had an old bottle that had seemed to have gone off. So this is the new bottle. It's fresh from 2024, and that's what we're going to use for today's test. Put it through the same test, you know, application, gloss and fill, chemical resistance, which is what they were always famous for. And we'll see how they stack up today in this modern age with some of the new competitors coming out where they've clearly designed around chemical resistance. So let's get into it, starting with application, go gloss and fill, then hydrophobics, and come back for the conclusion and the rank. Okay. Up next, Turtle Wax ceramic spray coating from the Hybrid Solutions line. This is the new bottle, in case anyone's asking. I probably mentioned it already, but this is the 2024 batch. If you have an old batch, get a new one, because it's a lot better than my old one was. My old one was old, but you know, if you've got a quarter or a half a bottle left and it's like 3+ years old, I don't think it owes you anything. Let's be honest here. So yeah, so this is a fresh purchase. It's from 24. All of the products so far that have been in the competition have been fresh purchases. I haven't delved into anything old yet. But we're going to do the application here on the panel. Can't remember which side I sprayed previous. I think it was this side. Yep. So, one into there. And Turtle Wax got a lot of flack for streaking. So, we'll see how this goes. Again, fresh bottle. So far in the other panels I've applied it to, it hasn't been bad. And those typically can be bad because I'm working in small areas and using a little product. And so you can never get the right amount of distribution for a small panel. It's meant to be applied to something big like a door. But so far, it's got a little bit of a bitey sound. It's not the slickest under the towel, but it's already gone. Like, gone. Like, it's flashing right away. So, again, working in 23 degrees temperatures might be different if you're colder, and it's 30% humidity because it's dry out, and I have an electric heater running, which is also gonna knock some of the humidity down. But yeah, slickness. So it's not super slick under the towel, but it's not bad. It's not super slick on final wipe, but again, there's nothing really left. So yeah, I don't know. It's not the slickest thing ever, but it applied without any drama. So I'm not worn out because I wasn't sit here wiping it forever. So it's not a bad application process. Maybe not be the slickest thing out there, but who knows? Maybe it fills really well, because it seems to be anything that's really slick to apply doesn't have a ton of filling to it, which is a theory that was shared with me, that products that are, if you want a product to fill that's a spray, it's going to be harder to apply. So yeah, this is fine. This is no drama. It's not the slickest, but it was easy. So yeah, overall well done. Good smell. It's a little on the strong side, maybe a medium. It's a fruity type smell. This thing's been around a while. I think a lot of people are copying the smell out of that, so in the recent events. But yeah, overall, good application. Not the craziest or anything, but easy. So good stuff. Okay, we've got Turtle Wax ceramic spray coating from the Hybrid Solutions line. Blah, 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 big mouthful. In this section here, you've got a fully polished out panel, as good as I can get it. It's hard to finish. This one panel, for some reason, does not finish down the same way the same panel does. They're like the two panels I'm using, they're the exact same part on the car. They're just, this one doesn't want to finish out. So it could be because it's thinning out, or I don't know. But it's basically as close as I can get it. And we're just going to see how close we get to that from full Swirl City. So let's pop the tape here. Yeah, man. Thank you. And have a gander. Okay, so you got your line right here. And I'm looking in person. Up and down. It's darkened it for sure. It's definitely darkened it in, but Not a ton of fill. The lines are almost identical, just a smidge. I think it's probably one of the slightly better than the clean and the DIY detail and the beat it up, the ones that I'm filming today. I'm filming them all today. So it's probably the best out of that bunch. And that's about it. It's not the best we've seen, not by a long shot, but it's a little bit better than those guys. So that's, yeah, that's where it's sort of at. It's a little better than the baseline. Again, it's a little bit more filling than some of the other ones we've seen. A little bit more darkening, but not great. Nothing outstanding. Nothing high marks scoring worthy. So, yeah. So that's where we're going to leave this one. Moving on. Okay, we are back. It's time to rank and, oopsie, too far. So, no bulk pricing on this guy. So we're going to start with pricing, sorry, I should say. No bulk pricing. This is what you get. There can be deals through Turtlewax's website. Those are not available for me, a Canadian. And I always judge based on MSRP on the smallest size. So 16 ounces from Walmart, which is where I bought this, it's $21.97, which in this day and age is a decent price. It's much more expensive on Amazon and other places. So Walmart is brick and mortar, regularly in stock, and a fairly, current bottle. So for that price, it does quite well at a 7 out of 10. The fact that it doesn't have a bulk option is kind of disappointing. That's where Turtle Wax and those types of brands, differ. They are consumer, and consumer means consuming a lot and buying often. Professionals want bulk. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. So 7 out of 10 for that guy. For pricing, which works out to 23 and a change for 500 mil equivalency. So not a bad price in the grand scheme of what we've been seeing here. Slickness is a 7 out of 10, as you saw. It's not terrible. There is a little bit of work involved, but I never had any real streaking issues. Applications an 8 out of 10. Again, it's not hard to work with. It's not the easiest thing we've seen, clean by pan. That's a 10 out of 10. That's a knockout when it comes to application. This is not that good, but it's not terrible as long as you're working in good conditions and stuff like that. If you throw cold temperatures or if you throw other variables at it and it becomes harder to apply, you've got to try and knock out those variables. That's what I try and do. I always keep it 20 to 20 something degrees room temp when I do my application, because that's the most ideal temperature that you can consistently, want to test at. You don't want to test at 5 degrees Celsius. You're going to be at dew point. You're going to have other issues with application. And I didn't have any. But slickness is a 7 out of 10 just because it wasn't the slickest thing out there. It feels like there's a little bit there left behind, but nothing terrible. Hydrophobics are a 6 out of 10. I've never found most of the Turtle Wax products to be crazy hydrophobic, and this is no exception. It does bead, it does the thing that beads do, but they're not particularly crazy. Chemical resistance was a 7 out of 10. It did slow down a measurable amount by the end of the test, but it wasn't terrible. They've always been known for that back in the day, that they would still be moving somehow. But if you looked at it, after 5 hits, it slowed down. It is not beating. It's a blob of water that's moving off. It's at a speed, but it's not beating up again. So that's where that gets that. Gloss and fill, I'm giving it a 5, just because I just filmed 4 of these products in a row. Disclosure, I do it all in the same day. But this one did the best when it came to filling. It darkened the panel the most out of the others. It didn't have a ton of fill, but the darkening was better than any other product we tested today. And one of the products got a 4, and this one was better than all the other ones. And just through relevance, it is a little bit better. So again, the application and the slickness dropping a little bit increases the gloss and fill. And this is something that so far has been correlating. And that's why it gets a 5. It did a little bit better than the other guys when it came to the visuals. Bottles 1 out of 2 because of trigger leaks, and it's not adjustable. It's on off, but it's a double spray for some reason. No stream spray, it's just spray, which makes sense because nobody uses these in stream. But the trigger leaks, and that's why I'm really knocking a thing off. The label's a 2 out of 2 because there's lots of information. They say for 12 months you need to apply a second coat, but they do want you to wait 24 hours before a wash, which is totally normal. But I remember in the past, and maybe this is different now, 24 hours between additional coats, which is a pain in the butt. That's why I don't, this ain't a 12-month product. It's never going to be a 12-month product. But that 24 hours between coats is, like, for a consumer, that's ridiculous. For a business, it's like also ridiculous. But for a consumer, that's a car grounded for a whole day. Like, you pull it in the morning, and then next morning, then you get to do your next coat. Then you got to wait more. Like, they don't want you to go and get it wet right away. So, yeah, it's a whole weekend without a car, potentially, depending on your weather and your climate. So that's what I really don't like about it. But because it sort of straddled the line, and never really dropped too much in any one area, it ended up scoring quite high. Again, jack of all trades, master of none sort of thing going on here. So in price, we've got a 7. Slickness, you have a 7. Application, you have an 8. Hydrophobic, 6. Chemical resistance, 7. Gloss and fill, 5. And a 1 and a 2, which brings us to 43 points. So we've got a 4-way tie for second place right now. And each one is excelling or weak in a certain area. And that's why this testing is, you know, on the face of it, eventually one day it's going to be really weird. You really have to focus on what's important to you. If application and ease of use is priority, then there's products that really nail that. If gloss and fill is what you're really after, you want the spray to fill a ton, then there's products that will do that. And that's what this testing is going to show you. You're going to find some products which just sort of go like this along the whole thing. They're not like that, right? And that's kind of what this is. That's sort of what it's doing. But yeah, so not a bad showing, not a bad value. Not a bad representation in any one area, but just nothing's super great. So if you really want crazy beads, don't buy this. If you really want tons of filling, don't buy this. If you really want easy application, don't buy this. If you just want something convenient at Walmart and isn't crazy expensive, buy this. It's there. It's okay. It's not a bad product. It's old though. So they've got newer products out like Flex Wax, and you know, who knows what they're going to come up with by then. But yeah, overall, not a bad product. Not great in any one area. Not something I genuinely reach for. I do top the polish and coat with this if I use it, but I haven't been using that lately. So yeah. All right. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.